Hello. I'm a mess. I'm exhausted and I haven't posted in a while, which I kind of keep promising that I will. So I'm not going to promise anymore. I'm just going to post when I can because I've been feeling like crap lately. I overdid it this weekend. I have the best friend in the entire world and she's amazing. And she let me sleep till noon every day that I was at her house, and went up to Jacksonville to see her and her husband and her son before he ships out, and then also to hang out. And he's become such an excellent swimmer. Like, he makes me so happy. And I got him this little science kit, and he made a volcano, and it erupted, and it was awesome. And there's a lot of things that I want to talk about, but I'm not going to because of I'm trying my best not to be upset or angry with people. I'm trying to let it roll off my back. It's not a big deal. While I was at my friend's, we painted, which was really, really fun, and I really needed it. She has a lot more colors than I do. I realize how much I am severely lacking in the color department, but I plan to change that at some point. I have been having severe brain fog, and the brain fog mostly lasts until it's like from the moment I wake up until mid-afternoon. And I had, this weekend, I pushed through it. On Friday, I was kind of angry at a certain person, and I drove to Jacksonville, which was 4 hours from here. Well, a little under 4 hours, but there was some traffic, so maybe 4 hours. And then once I got there, we stayed up till around 4 a.m. and we're just talking and giggling and watching Bo Burnham and laughing, and because it's super fun. And we had a blast, but that wore me out completely. So the next day I slept until noon. We went to the pool on the naval base there, which was amazing and kind of new for me. It's been a long time since I've been to any kind of base, let alone a naval base. I have only been to the MacDill Naval Base. Well, I think MacDill's an Air Force base. Actually, okay, let me get that right. MacDill's an Air Force base. So we've been to MacDill Air Force Base, and it's different, to say the least. Like, it's prettier up there in Mayport. So anyway, we did that, and then we went to the beach, which is like less than 30 feet from Mayport, the pool area that we went to. And so we walked over, and waves are huge there, and I got knocked over and lost my glasses in the ocean and sacrificed the pair of glasses to the what do you call them? The mermaid gods. So now there's a mermaid that can see the underworld, and that's pretty cool, except for the part where the new frames actually look really awesome, in my honest opinion. These are those. And I freaked out as soon as I lost him, because the minute I feel like I can't see is that I just kind of get all just in myself, and I just start to like cry uncontrollably and just hyperventilate because I panicked. You know, it's a lot of money to replace your glasses, and I didn't know, it being a weekend, if that was going to even work out. So I called Lens Crafters in Atlantic Beach, and they were amazing. They stayed, we rushed there, and we got there 10 minutes before they closed, and they stayed about 15 to 20 minutes after they closed to make sure that my glasses were going to be ready the next day at the town center lens crafters, which was incredible, and they were perfect. They were wonderful. And I went the next day. Like, I woke up around 1 o'clock or 1:30 or something in the afternoon, and as soon as I turned my phone on, I had a phone call, and I called them back, and my glasses were ready, and we went and picked them up, and we had a great day. We went back to the pool, which was where I think I overdid it, really. It was kind of like, it was rough. It was warm. I had already probably had a fever, I think, and I wanted to do what everybody else was doing, and not be a hindrance on the weekend. And I did that. So I got some sun. I think I'm a little bit tanner. I don't know. I know I'm not supposed to be getting sun because of the doxycycline. Well, I can't I feel like I did that anyway, and I slathered the sunscreen on like it was almost too much, but I still got a little bit burned in some places I guess I missed, and that's okay. Then I came back on Monday, and it was Cameron's birthday on Monday, and I while I was in Jacksonville, I had everybody make him a card and sign it, and so I brought it back, and it's really adorable. It's Hello Kitty stickers because it's so cute, and I'm really exhausted now, and it's Tuesday. I'm actually doing this video on Tuesday. I was going to do one last night, but I was just too tired when I got home, and we went and had dinner. Well, we went and picked up dinner, his favorite local restaurant slash bar that you can get like food and stuff, and like pizza and wings. So that's what we had for dinner. Mainly, I love the wings there. They're fucking incredible. The pizza's great too. Everything is just good. So we had that, and then today I really didn't do too much. I was just trying to rest and hang out with my puppies, and love on them because I know that they missed me, and I have a doctor's appointment on Friday with my Lyme literate doctor from Maryland, and it'll be over the phone, so I don't have to travel there this month. And I'm actually trying to search for an alternative to where, like, I can see a doctor here in Florida, and I've been looking and trying to find somebody, but it's difficult because not everybody's accepting new patients and everything, so it's been hard, but I'm still working on it. I've made plans to do another semester of college starting in fall too, so that's another thing. With the brain fog, it's going to be a little difficult, but I figure if it's one assignment at a time and it's only one class, it's not going to hurt me to keep the brain active. In fact, I think that it will help tremendously. So I did that, and I also think I've decided what I want to do with my degree. I think I want to do like one of two routes. Like, I maybe could counsel patients who have Lyme disease, because this is a disease that takes a toll not only on the patient but the caregivers in the patient's life, as well as any children that are involved. And I mean, it's a brutal disease, and I definitely want to make more awareness of it, and that's one way I can do that. But then another thing that I thought of in regards to my student loans is teaching. Even though they don't make a ton of money, there is excellent student loan forgiveness in teaching. If I can teach, it would be amazing to be able to teach others what I've learned. It's a psychology major, so it would be like a psychology class that I would teach, but I could probably teach like middle school or something like that, and or maybe even the lower division of high school, like 9th, 10th grade ish, give or take. I've been doing Epsom salt baths lately, and I don't know if you can tell by like my eyes, but my eyes are extremely tired, and my pupils are super dilated. I've just really having a hard time. So I made a little list, and going off of my list, talking to you today because I want to make sure that I get everything that I wanted to say on here, because I don't know when I'm going to update again, like I said in the beginning. I'm really looking forward to school starting. Looking forward to just being able to finish a book. I like to write and I like argument. So the class that I signed up for was my English 2 class, and it's all about persuasion and argument. So I'm kind of excited about that, and we'll see how well I do. I think I'm gonna do great. My first English class I got a B, which I was a little sad, but it's my own fault because I got an A. Shit, did I get a B? I don't know. I might have gotten a B. I think I got a B. But I'm hoping to get an A out of this one because I really like persuasive essays, and I really like research essays, which I'm going to be doing a ton of in the psychology side of things. And I love scientific studies, and I love reading them, and that's super fun. And honestly, I've done a lot of that for Lyme disease. When I found out that I had Lyme disease, like I went through a ton of research, both CDC and ILADS, and also just different LLMDs throughout the country, just looking at the different research studies that they were able to fund based on what they were doing at the time. And it's incredible the amount of disheartening information that has been brought up, like how it goes undetected, how the testing is outdated, how it imitates anything and everything, and that's why it's so hard to diagnose, because for one patient it can look like fibromyalgia, and for another patient it can look like a seizure disorder, and for another patient it can look like nothing at all, just they're sick and they have colds all the time. It's an immune buster. It's an immunity disorder. It controls you, and it controls your immune system, and makes it difficult for you to think, to be. Sometimes just to roll over in bed takes work. And I do most of my vlogging at night, as you can tell. Well, I don't know if you can tell it or not, actually, but it's 1 to 10 right now, and I do the majority of these at night because I don't know why. Maybe I have more energy at night. I've taken my meds, kind of, whatever, pain medicine and all my other medicine. Everything's just ready. All I have to do is go to bed now. I'm really exhausted, but going in there, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to sleep, so I came out and kind of was like, I'm going to do this video, and then I'm going to go to bed. At least I'm going to try to go to bed. I've been having a lot of heartburn lately, and I don't really have that very often anymore because I'm on ranitidine, and it seems to help quite a bit with the heartburn, but for whatever reason, it's not helping right now, and so I've been popping Tums pills and these new chewy Alka-Seltzer tablets. I don't know how safe any of that is, but it's not really helping either. So I drank some milk, and I'm hoping that that'll calm it down just a little bit and make it to where I don't end up with esophageal cancer. Because that happens. I know some people that happens. One of the other things I wanted to talk about was my diagnosis of eating disorder. And I've made videos prior to this about it. I actually deleted them off of my YouTube because I wanted this channel to be primarily about my Lyme disorder. However, for the past, I want to say the past year, I've been struggling off and on with an eating disorder called bulimia nervosa, and a lot of my Facebook friends know about that disorder and what I have been through for the past year, and previously as well. And I'm not diminishing people who have legitimate eating disorders at all, but from the research that I've read, when this all started, when my symptoms started, mainly my vomiting specifically, it was put into my head that I might have an eating disorder. And I may still have an eating disorder. However, I don't think it's just that simple, if that makes sense. I do have trouble with trigger foods. I have trouble with amounts of food. I have trouble with time limits. Sometimes I have trouble eating too little. Sometimes I have trouble eating too much. Sometimes I get distracted and don't remember eating at all, even though I did. Binge purge, the whole 9 yards. But I think it got worse after I was told by a Mayo Clinic doctor that they did not know what was wrong with me. I had an elevated white blood cell count and a high SED rate since I can remember. And they refused to do any further testing. The doctor just said, you're nauseous all the time. I was to the point where I wasn't making myself throw up or anything. I was just eating food and it was just coming up. And I'm not trying to make excuses for myself or anything like that. I tried anti-nausea pills. I tried the vertigo pills that you can get over the counter, and Dramamine, for seasickness and things like that. And it didn't help. And so I don't know what was wrong at the time, but I'm pretty sure that being that I was at the Mayo Clinic and I was in Minnesota, that I was bit by a tick. And probably got Lyme disease. It's possible I got it from there, but I remember the tick bite when I was 5. And from what I've learned is that not everybody remembers their tick bites. And it's entirely possible that that was not the tick that gave me Lyme disease, that it was another tick. It could have been, whenever I lived anywhere. However, I want to address the fact that people say that it's not prevalent in Florida, ticks specifically, but I got my dog, Buddy, from a rescue, and when I first got him, he had a tick, and we pulled it off of him, you know, and squished it because I didn't want it to bite anybody else, and I never had a second thought about it. I mean, it was a little tiny nymph tick, and it was I didn't know what to do about it or anything like that. I didn't think there was anything that I could do. I know that he's on tick prevention meds, but I know that that only works when the tick bites them and then it gets sick and it falls off. That has nothing to do with them like repelling them or anything like that. And so I don't know. I don't know anymore. Like, I thought I knew the majority of everything that was wrong and that I had, and I thought that I had, the proper prognosis and diagnosis, and I don't know anymore. For a while, I felt like that I was just listening to doctors and doing exactly what they said, and things like that. But I can't do that anymore. I can't afford to do that anymore. I am losing countless minutes of my life to this disease, and I refuse to just do what they say anymore without doing a ass ton of research, because if I don't do the research, nobody else is going to. I have to do that for myself. I have to write on the message boards and join the Lyme disease support groups, and I have to look at studies and the facts and then decide on my best course of treatment. I don't want to be sick any longer than I have to. I don't want to be sick at all, but that's the inevitable part. But I don't want to be sick any longer than I have to. And I hope that this video finds someone and they watch it and they realize that they have choices in treatment. And that's with any disease or disorder. I mean, someone once told me that they went into a psychiatrist's office and they were over medicated and that they didn't have a choice. And that's not true. I can speak from personal experience that when you're a child, yes, maybe your parents over medicate you because they can't handle how awesome of a child you are, or something to that effect. However, you have an option. Once you turn 18, once you turn into an adult, you can tell the doctor, no, this is not what I want. I want something else. I want to do research. What are the side effects? What are the good things that are going to happen? How long is it going to take to kick in? Does this mean that I'm going to have to worry about, developing another disorder? Is it going to make it to where I can't drive? Is it, this, that, and the other thing? And normal people who don't have the time or the resources even to do research, in-depth research, as it should be done on all medication. It should be written on the freaking bottle, but it's not. They just don't have the time to do it, and they just blindly follow the doctor's orders when it should be you get the information and then research the medication and then decide if that's what's best for you. I know that they've had tons of years of medical experience, and they're, doctors. They went to, prestigious schools and such, but you can't always trust them. You can't always trust anybody when it comes to your health. You have to be your own advocate. You have to stick up for yourself You can't let them bully you. You have to do your research. That's just the end of that. I'm sorry. That was a huge rant about research. But I'm going to try to go to bed now. It's only 25 freaking minutes into this video, and I'm sorry, but I appreciate anybody out there who subscribes, listens, whatever. Anyway, I don't know if you can even see it, like, right now, but I would like to just maybe show you the fruits of my weekend labor, if that makes any sense at all. I don't know if it will, but I'm gonna walk over here and turn the light on. Okay, so I am going to show you the coolest picture I've ever painted. And this is thanks to the art Sherpa. She was amazing. And that was this weekend's video. Or, I'm sorry, tutorial painting that I did while I was in Jacksonville with my friend. Turn the light back off because it's so bright in here. Anyway, thanks for listening and being, you know, your own advocate. Be your own advocate, because that's the most important thing. If you don't take anything else away from this, be your own advocate. It could save your life. Bye, YouTube.